That was fun. So, okay, I have this issue going on with my computer. Since I got it back from Microsoft, it's been crashing. But not the computer, it's my video card. I have an external GPU, and prior to sending it in, never an issue, never a single problem. However, that has changed since I got it back. I connected my external GPU, got the latest graphics drivers on it. It's up to date. In fact, I called NVIDIA and said, "Hey, man, my computer's the video card keeps crashing and disconnecting or whatever it's doing." So they go, "Well, let's see." They checked the driver. They did have a newer driver, so I said, "All right, let's install that." I installed it on Friday, and everything worked. I streamed multiple times for several hours, quite a few hours, from Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Today I've crashed twice. um, I don't know what's going on. Something just explodes and the world comes to an end. So basically what happens is my top monitors, which are the ones connected to my external graphics card, lock up, and then all my data goes to the other on my other screen. OBS blows up because I was connected to that video card, which blew up. And so then I have to unplug, replug in my graphics card. And then I have to get everything restarted. OBS is stuck in a broken state, and I'm trying to reconfigure and get all my OBS crap back up, get everything working again. And so here I am, a little 10-minute delay there. So yeah, if I suddenly vanish all of a sudden, that's probably the reason. I streamed my afternoon session of programming, 3 hours or so, man, not a problem. But I crashed this morning, and now I crashed again. I don't know what's happening, if it's overheating. I've done other streaming, no problem. I don't know if it has something to do with the programming. I don't know, something weird's going on. But needless to say, it's been problematic. So anyhow, so I was in the process of trying to write me a function, and I had determined that the problem here was probably my play info. But we're going to go play info, yards on play, and we're going to go take this value and control X, and we'll go here. And we'll say play info, because that's what that's supposed to be. Because I think my problem I was having was that I was looking at the wrong value. I was looking at the value that was current, not the value that was part of play info. So we'll see if that looks a little better in the reads. So play info, I just want to, special teams play info. Everything's capital here, it should be right. Yards to go, yeah, okay, we're good. And it should be the same here. I don't know where the yards to go that's not capital is. It says there's one, but I don't know where. Because all of my properties are set as capital. Should be anyway. Yep. What happened? What? Failed to compile. Uh-oh, what did I do? Now we're waiting for it to give back control. I gotta figure this out. I don't know why it keeps taking me into code that very frustrating when I have a crash like that. Throws me all off my game. I mean, literally, I'm off my game. So you can see this is my Go. I was working on, I still have some bugs in there, but things aren't compiling quite right. But I just kind of got started on that Friday, and I didn't do it all today because I've been working on this UI stuff, which probably needs to be put on hold. Just simple little things that bother me, though. You know, it's like the not having my yard lines not match up to what's actually happening. That's annoying. Build failed. What? 235. All right, so we got constant. What do they do? Oh, wow. Gee, okay. Ball on yard line. There we go. That one should have a thingy too. You know, Go doesn't really use line termination characters. That's one of the things interestingly enough that I learned. No, this is all Go here. None of it has line termination characters. They do use the squiggly brackets for like closing up your functions and stuff, but functions is just func, which I think is interesting too. Structs, I'm finding are kind of like enums, sorta. There's maybe like classes. I don't know. I've been taking like a Go class while I do this, so it's, you know, learning syntax and the variations of the stuff that's happening, just to get a feel for what the heck, you know, Go is. So this guy who's doing the microservices thing I'm listening, he's kind of a rough guy. He knows a lot. He's fast. He's quick, and he doesn't really care about teaching. He just shows you. So he's just flying through all these microservices thing. I'm going to put this here and put this here, and then we're going to go over to this page. We're going to do this here, and then we're going to do this. And I don't need this what do you call it? Library thing on the side. So I don't need that. So he closes that, and so now you're just going between files, and you're like, I don't even know what file you're on, because every single folder has a main.go in it. So if he's working on a main.go, he could be on any main.go file. And you're like, that doesn't look like the one I'm working on. I should probably go over here. Nope, it's not that. Oh, wait, is that a new one? So you're just trying to keep, so you're pausing and trying to figure out where he's at. And it's like, oh, dude, this is not easy to follow. Okay, so we got 135. Let's see if my logic is a little bit friendlier now. So, current log, gameplay. Do I have a break? Don't have a break. Why is it doing that? Oh, here we go. Still not current state, time, current play, person 10 last play call, lock game loop. Okay, is my console.log not working? Am I not hitting it? Oh, there it is. There it is. 0 yards, ball on 0? What was that? How do I have the yards? How do I have a ball on 0? Oh, it's a field goal attempt. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, 0 yards, ball on 40. All right, so, all right, -2, 38. 0 still on 38. -12, 26. Yeah, that sounds like we're getting the right numbers now. 32. 12 yards would be 44. Okay, so now we're synced up. Interception. Woohoo! Interception. What? So what are the odds of that? No. Really? No. That's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think I have some weird. I think I have some weird bugs and stuff going on in my randomizations that I haven't tracked down. But yeah, at least numbers are matching up now, and I can now see 2nd and 8, 2 yards. Gain of 2 yards is 22. Okay, so now we should be about the 22. So now I can actually see where the ball's supposed to be. So own 35, which isn't quite right. So he's moving the ball forward, 540. So we should be on the 40. We're not. Another sound should be 47. It's still not too far off. It's a little bit. -3. Okay, that's not too far off. Seems like closer to center we are. So it gains 11 yards, so we're kind of close to the 45. That's right on. First and 10 on the 62. Wait, what? Oh, that might have been a 62-yard field goal attempt, which does happen a lot. Let's see. QB draw sack minus 9 yards. So Denver's trying to get moving forward. 38, 2 yards. Field goal attempt from 55. That's probably about right. It's no good. So now they're going this way. 48, so it should be... Well, no, that might be right. 48. And then what? The kick is deep touchback. What? Wait, what? How do we end up back? Okay. Oh, it must have been a field goal attempt? Oh, I'm lost. Punt returner takes the ball. 58. Screen pass to running back. Result, loss of 3. It goes a little fast. I have this set up to be just a few seconds. I probably should slow it down. Punt returner takes the ball after a punt. 61 yards. 0 yards. So see, I'm not in the end zone, but I haven't got my... There's certain... It seems like it's off down here. And over here, it's like... It's never quite going this distance. It's like off by a ways. So, yeah, Own 6. Own 28. How come it's always own? I think I might have a problem with my record. It's never changing to the other side. There is a flaw in my output there too. Here it goes. It says own a lot. So if current play dot yards to go. Oh, you know what? This is probably not right. Third and 15. I think Denver's going this way. Okay, there we go. That switched to 45. Now Denver's on the 45. Opponent's 40. Oh, because they're going this way. Alright. So we're on the opponent's 46. So it should be about here, but it's way over here. Opponent 0. Kicking some long field goals. Own 45. Somehow we got to the opposition 40, but we didn't actually say a line. -1. Oh, something's getting off. Field goal attempt from 55. But see, that should have gone 0 also. It's like, did we even kick off? Score is supposed to be followed by kickoffs. So there are some weird things happening for sure. Unless it's happening so fast that I'm just not seeing it. Three-point score. Where's the last point scored? 0, 0, 0, 0, 3. See, after this play, point scored 3. Should have been a kickoff. Field goal attempt 55 is good. But then that says false. Oh no, kicker blasted through the end zone. Opponent will take it on. Okay, so wait, nope, it did kick it off. Just must have missed it. What is my delay here? It's almost like this delay isn't long enough. I set it for 5 seconds. I feel like I don't read that slow. It's like, I don't know. Let's set it for... What I should do is set a play clock. Nothing like adding the complexity of a play clock. So it updates every second. Add a play clock. So then I could go, all right, so if I add it really, if I update the speed, it goes even faster. So, what, 30-second play clock to... Yeah, that'd be interesting to see, but I'd have to set it like at 30 or 40 seconds to have a play clock. I actually have time calculations in there. It's not random times. It is, well, kind of. The individual play execution ranges from 1 or 2 seconds to 3 or 5 seconds, depending on how big a play it is, but it's kind of set up based on the length of the play. And so it adds that, and then it tacks 30 seconds onto that just because it takes that long to get back to the ball. But that's how I'm calculating the time. So it's actually kind of sort of calculated based on actual general play results of a football play. And then I add 30 seconds. Okay, so... All right, let's stop. It's 8:40. I got some time to go work on some Go stuff. I think I kind of sort of have it working okay. It's all, things are lining up. I could stare at it and keep tweaking stuff all day long. Right now, my biggest thing is I need to figure out why my football's not moving kind of in the right... Hey, yeah, my system crashed. So my graphics card crashed. It's an external GPU, and... ever since I got my computer back, it's been blowing up. Not every day, but like it did. Like I called NVIDIA on Friday, and they gave me a new driver, and installed it, and it worked great. Friday night for like a 3-hour stream. Saturday I streamed for about probably 4 hours, and then I streamed a little bit yesterday. Did I? Yeah, I think I did for a couple hours, and then today. Crashed in the morning, worked fine in the afternoon for like a 2 or 3 hour stream, and now I'm doing it now and it crashed this evening. So I don't know. I don't know what causes it. It is 8:40 where I'm at. I'm in the Northwest. So I'm gonna probably be streaming for a while, assuming if my video card crashes again, I probably won't come back. I might keep working for a bit before I go to bed, but I probably won't come back. But if it stays on, I'll probably finish the stream about 9:30, 9:45. So that's about another hour-ish. A little less than an hour more, or hour less. So hopefully, fingers crossed, my graphics card doesn't misbehave again. Oh, it's late for you. So you're in Central Standard Time. I had a meeting with Meta today for Central Standard Time, wherever he is, wherever his branch of Meta is. But 11:40, that's getting pretty late, man. I'm guessing if you work, you should probably be heading to bed pretty soon, huh? Do you work for Nintendo? You have Nintendo 504. Are you referring? What is Nintendo 504? The Nintendo 504. So anyway, let's go look at my Go stuff. Now, I have had to, with my Go stuff, oh, something's weird. Why is it not running? Second quarter and it stopped. Why are you stopped? That's not good. Huh, weird. Oh, you're 3 hours. I can't do math. Math is hard. No, you're right. That's 3 hours. I'm 8:40. Yeah, okay. Here, Eastern time zone. Ah, your console ID. Alrighty. So anyway, yeah, my Go work has all been YouTube video training because I really am not. I am as green as it gets. I mean, like I said, my first ever experience with Go was last Friday when I started writing microservices. So yeah, that's actually I started working with it a little bit on Thursday, and just kind of getting familiar with it. Where is my what what? I don't have any idea what this guy's talking about. Okay, that must be some kind of a weird spammy thing. I don't know. Great analysis. What? What was I don't even know what video is he talking about. Okay, so back. I have no idea what this guy was.
Gonna try again. Let's play some more Bizarre. Let's see. Now I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't know when they redo the. What do you call it? You get your free daily.
Oh, yeah. I was playing Bizarre. I don't know what the heck that guy is. Look at that. Great analysis. Thank you. I need some advice. My OKX wallet holds some USDT. And I have the seed phrase, blah, 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 blah. Could you explain how to move them to banana? Okay, so this guy must be, I don't know what that is. It's some kind of a spammy / phishing nonsense thing. I don't know what the heck that guy is talking about. I do like coding. I like coding to the extent that I like creating stuff. It's not the coding. I mean, honestly, anything I could get away with creating. Code just happens to be a good way to do it. You know, create applications, create software. I've created a few different apps in my day. You've obviously been doing it for a long time. But I like to do it for things that I like doing it for, though. So it's been kind of, I've been getting to that point where I want to do it for myself. I've been coding for so long, but of course, I need to eat. So it's not always, allowed to just go out and do your own thing. But I've developed a few different things, so it's not always in software either. I've created the storage case you see on the front of my YouTube page. This is I created that, and I've sold quite a few of them. I need to make some more. People keep asking me about them, but I need to do another Kickstarter and stuff. So because I'm sold out of most of what people keep asking for. So I gotta do more. So I gotta do another Kickstarter, and I don't have enough followers to do that because I need to make bigger units. I got a lot of stuff anyway. So that's neither here nor there. But I do like creating stuff. I've created a couple board games that I want to get out. But again, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not a software guy. I'm a function guy. Yeah, it really just comes down to finding something you like enough. For me, this game was because I looked at every single football game that I could find, both mobile and on PC. And after I'm thinking, the last time a really good PC game was written for football was in the 90s. And I'm like, freaking A, man. We've had decent phones that could handle good games since 2010. And I don't even need it to be John Madden-like. I don't care about the football players running up and down the field are cool, but that's high, that's expensive development, lots of developers, lots of work. And I'm not a graphics developer. But I have seen a number of really good Sims. Well, okay, I've seen a number of Sims, and I love the concept, but nobody's done a good one yet. They all have, they're all free to play, of course. Most mobile phone games are, but they're doing it wrong. they're putting the mobile or the pay part ahead of the game part. In other words, you can't play the game if you're not paying, and the game isn't even, there's not much game there without the paying, without upgrading stuff and doing stuff. There's really just not much game. And that's the problem. You need to have a game that people like the game part. See, this is, yeah, well, it's hard to find the balance, right? When you're doing free to play you do want people, you do want to show them what you're doing. Some games get carried away, right? With all the ads. Some of them will only hit you pretty hard when you first log in. Some of them will hit you between every single scene that you do, right? I mean, you play one little game thing, ad. You go do another little game thing, ad. And then those are the ones that can be a little annoying because it's constant and in your face. And that's not a good way to do it either. But no, it's like, for example, the sim games I found were, they basically had you getting cards, which is kind of what I want to do. You're going to have player cards. But the cards had different power levels that were based on your rarity of getting them, right? So in other words, if somebody's been playing long and been paying a lot, they're going to have a lot more higher power cards. Even though it could be the same player, you could have a weak common version of the same player. And then somebody else could have like the champion spotlight version, and it's just way better. But eventually you play a lot, you pay a lot, you eventually get a lot of players that are all sitting at the same power level. And anytime you're playing with people at the same power level, the game's got to be really good. So even though that same problem of getting caught up playing against people with disparate power levels, you'd hope that the game part is at least good when you're playing head to head. It's not. They're terrible. The game parts are like, you get a few little player choices, you get a few little minor tweaks, and then it does a sim. The sim's kind of cool, watching the thing go up and down, but if you're even just a few points of power higher than the other guy, you're going to destroy him. It's not even going to be close. Doesn't matter how good he is. And I've heard that as you get higher up, that kind of goes the other way a little bit. I don't know. It's just bad. And I've seen a few of them. There's Football Head Coach 25. There's GOAT. There's I have Playmakers. Oh, Playmakers looked good at first. That's the NFL 2K Playmakers. And it turns out that's not even a game. At first, you're kind of led to think, oh, this might just be the warm-up. You do these little challenge things. Then you'll get to play a whole season. No. Play a whole game. No, you can't do any of that stuff. It's like, well, what the frick am I doing in this? These stupid little challenges are dumb. You can't even beat them most of the time because they're silly. It's like, score in 3 plays. Score in 3 plays. So like, you get like, and it randomly gives you 3 plays per play to pick from. And your chances are based on what the defense picks. But if you get 3 long bombs and the other guy's picking 3 blitz plays or picks a blitz play, well, you're toast. Your guy's going to get stopped. And then it looks like it's doing all these cool animations of football. They're just fixed animations, every one of them. In fact, the yardage is fixed. You're either a negative or a positive. What I mean is, it'll say -4, +12. And basically, the cards you play it will randomly decide, based on how powerful your cards are, what your odds are, whether it's the 12 or the -4. There is no in the middle, and there is no breaking a big one. It's -4 or 12. That's all you're going to get. There is no somewhere in the middle. With passes, I think there's 3 options, because you could get a sack, the fixed distance, or you can get an incomplete, which is a 0. But that's the only things that can happen. Once you start playing for a bit, you're going, every single every single play has like 2 or 3 animations, and that's it, and they're all the same. And you can immediately tell if you're going to get the positive. It's like one of the best plays was some screen pass I tried, and if I get it, it's 12 yards every time. If I don't get it, it's like 0. But that's okay, 0 is 0. But you don't get that play all the time, because the more plays you add to your playbook, the more random it is of the plays you pick from, and you may never get to pick what you want. So I bailed out on that one. So all of those games, I'm like, freaking hell, how hard is it to write a good game sim? It doesn't even have to have real players, just sim well. So I says, is there even a PC game that does this? So I started looking up all of the different football games, Madden and all of them, just try to see what's out there. And from what I can tell, nobody has figured out how to make a good football sim game. The closest one to what I'm looking for is Action PC Football. But it's really fiddly. You don't get plays. You just call your play. You make your plays up as you go. It tells you, I want to pick these guys to blitz and these guys to run and these guys to focus on. And you got all these. You pick your formations. You have to do all of the play spots. All of the bits that would be in a play, you call at the time. So you say click, 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 click to defend to set up your play. Well, I've been learning Go for 1 day. Last Friday, that was it. No, maybe a little bit Thursday. Yeah, I say Thursday. Maybe it was Thursday and Friday, because I think Thursday I started working on the microservices. And then I started working on a class, because the guy who was teaching the microservices is terrible. He's terrible at teaching. He's not a teacher. He's just a guy who knows a lot, and he just types fast and says, do this, do this, do this, do this, and you need to know Go. And I'm like, oh. It's like, I'm pretty good at the concepts of programming. So I figured, well, I get it. I don't know the syntax. I'll pause it to write stuff down. But he was losing me because he was going too fast. And then I started following this other guy that actually does some pretty good. He was doing pretty good training. Where'd he go? Let's see. Which one is it? You can see all the cool, interesting things I bounce around on. So this is the Go microservices dude, Tiago. He's a terrible teacher. He's very smart, very good at what he does, but he's a terrible teacher. Then the Go guy, this is the same guy. It's Tiago, back-end engineering course. He has a bunch of classes you could do. It's not very expensive, $14 a month, but I would not. I would. My experience so far is that there's better people to find. The guy I was learning from, though, who actually I thought was pretty good. Where'd he go? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Call draw. How to. Cutting objects. Shapes. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is all today's stuff. I don't know where it went. Programming, learning React. That's me. Hey, who's this guy learning React? Oh, that's me. Go backend, microservices with Go. Building microservices with Go. I may have to follow one of these other guys. I'll have to find him again. Go training. Getting started. Figuring if I can find Go tutorial for beginners. Here we go. Go tutorial for beginners. NetNinja. Now I've taken a number of classes from NetNinja. This guy's good. I like the way he teaches stuff. He teaches them in bite-sized chunks. They're very thorough. You can really get a grasp of what he's doing. I haven't taken his Go one, but I took his React class, Next.js, which, by the way, is what I'm using. A lot of what he taught me on my React stuff. He also did a GraphQL class, I think were the 3 things I did. He just does some really, I really like the way the Net Ninja guy does his training. So if you're want to try something, that's probably a good one. Code in Go language. Learn the programming languages. That's a sponsored one. Oh, this guy. Go programming. Golang course with bonus projects. I think this is the guy I was following. This may not be the class exactly, but this guy was the one. He was pretty good. He was going
over all of the words in the message, right?
So he's going through and he's basically doing this boot.dev, and well, at least at the beginning, because he does a lot of other stuff. I mean, this is like the beginning, but he's teaching you the basics going through this boot.dev, which is kind of like, I want to say it's like one of those testing frameworks, like for testing you, for your knowledge, like a knowledge testing thing. And he goes through them and kind of shows you, answers based on what this is. So I ask questions, he shows you what they are and kind of gives you the explanations and how they work. And as far as easy goes, I don't know, man. I haven't done enough to call it easy, but everything has its own idiosyncrasies. Python was weird. I did a class on Python, and the biggest thing I got from that class, because I took a way too easy one. I took like Intro to Python, which is like intro to programming. So it spent a lot of time trying to teach me stuff I already knew, and it wasn't getting in. I had to skip through a bunch of it just to. I was just trying to learn how Python was different from like C# or whatever. And so I didn't get much. But one biggest thing I took away from that is that Python is weird in that it uses indentation for encapsulation. Instead of like parentheses, you got to have things at the same indent level. And if they're in the same indent level, then they're in the same code block, which was really weird to me. And I was like, this is going to be really hard to follow. I was thinking it was going to be really awkward to be like, where is my bug? It's like, oh, I didn't tab this one in far enough. I was like, I do not want to be trying to mess with trying to figure out if I tabbed in far enough. It's hard enough trying to find your bug sometimes, much less finding out that your one line of code is not indented far. Or you didn't put enough spaces behind it. Or too many. It's not in line. Oh no, my code is off by a space. Okay. Let's go find my other guy here. I've got about 30-40 minutes. Let's see if I can finish. Finish. But people who use Python, they'll swear by Python. I mean, they're hardcore. And to be honest, I don't know if Python is better or worse. I mean, I don't know enough about it. I'm a C# guy, like I said.
Then here on the main, all we need to do is create.
See, look, this is what I kind of paused with this guy because of right here. Okay, so he says he's working on main.go, right? Well, he turned off his file structure, which normally shows you what you're working on. So like right here, it says I'm working on the Go handler, right? Now note, every folder in Go has a go.main or main.go, 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 and all these other ones are gonna have a main.go. They don't have them yet because I haven't finished them, but they will eventually have a main.go. So when he turns off his file thing here, how are you supposed to know which main.go he's working in? And he toggles back and forth between various files all the time. So for him, he knows what file he's working on, but anybody watching him is like, I don't know what file this is. So I decided to go look at his GitHub. He's got a GitHub here. So I went to GitHub. This project he's working on is not in GitHub, not anywhere that I could find. So it makes it very difficult to know what he's working on, which is very tough. Now I put a couple of, I've got a couple of pretty cool little extensions on my VS Code that tells you which main.go I'm working on. This one's in coaching profile, this one's in gateway, this one's in common 1. But he doesn't have that, so it's not showing me anything. So really kind of a pain to follow him. But he is doing microservices, which is what I'm trying to do because I need to get my microservices up and running. So I was basically just going to mimic his stuff and change it for mine. I don't want to do his little food services thing. I'm doing my own. So when he changes it, so mine are like coaching profile and common, and I am using gateway because I need a gateway. But like I have playbook and players and simulator. All those things are going to be where my actual functions and code are. But he's doing like a food service demo. I don't want to do that. So I have to translate it and figure out how I want my stuff to work, and then I'll write my code accordingly. I just need to get all the bits and parts.
Handler dot register routes. We pass in the router, and then at the end we need to start the HTTP server and pass in our handler as a parameter. If errors from the http.listen and serve, we pass in here the HTTP address.
So, yeah, I don't even know which one. I think he's working on the on this one. Well, I thought he was, but it's main.go. That does not look right, does it? I thought he was working on the gateway, but maybe he's not. Because this doesn't, listen service, new server, new handler, register routes. Oh, maybe it is. Well, no, because I have, unless I went back trying to find where he is, maybe, does he does, let's see, air.http listen serve. Yeah, maybe this is the one. Maybe I'm just not.
And as well as the max. Then if the error is different than nil, we need to handle it, which all we're going to do is log.fatal failed to start server, for example, HTTP server. And here I'm going to create a variable here called HTTP address. This is going to come from the environment variables in the future, but for now let's just have it hard-coded here. This is the parts that we're going to have. Now let's actually test this and what we can do.
So he's doing this test, but see, here's my problem. My gateway compiles, but my main.go does not. And I was going to try to find where he's... I don't even know if this one needs to be here yet. I don't know that he's even created this one yet. Maybe I was getting ahead of myself. Let's delete that one. Maybe he didn't create this one yet. But it still doesn't explain this guy being off. That's my coaching profile, which is his order. He's doing an order bit, and obviously I have got something that's a little off. So I gotta remember where we're at. We are currently at 4902. So I gotta go find out now. Where is he? See, all this stuff was just him talking about things, and then he suddenly started working. He was setting things up there. Orders is so my orders has main.go, service.go, store.go, types.go. And of course main.go. And my types.go has got order server. Okay, so we're fine. So then we just got to go. Yeah, what's a good thing to do with ChatGPT is, like, if you don't understand something it's telling you, you can highlight parts a lot of times and say, explain this. And it'll tell you, which is kind of cool. It is a pretty good teacher sometimes. And but sometimes just dealing with the person who's put a real life thing into play is
like what I like is once I start working on stuff, ChatGPT can help me to fully flesh it out. But when I don't know where to start, yeah, that's a big thing. The thing is too with YouTube, you have to find the thing that's similar to what you're doing, right? Because you're rarely going to find someone doing exactly the thing you're doing when you can just go ask ChatGPT. But you know what? I want to do a video on what I found in my work. Because this React situation I did here, all the AIs were struggling to come up with the right answer. So if you're trying to do what I was trying to do very similarly, it took me a week to get this figured out, correct, to get it actually functioning. Because there was a number of problems that occurred, and the AIs just tried everything. They threw code change after code change at me, and nothing worked until finally I sort of kind of figured it out. In fact, I sort of kind of figured it out and on my own based on all the stuff I had been learning from them, but I ended up doing something kind of different. And it solved all of my problems. So, but I was learning a lot from them that I eventually kind of understood more how this was working and how I wanted to make my stuff do its thing. But AI couldn't come up with the exact answer. At one point, I thought I was doing this lock thing that was working, but it wasn't. It just stopped working after a day or two. Finally, I got my lock thing to function the way I wanted as I started understanding how use effect and the asynchronicity stuff happened and how to fire certain things. I finally got that doing what I wanted, and voila, I got it fixed. I actually got things to perform the way I wanted them to. And so the AIs aren't flawless. They don't always know the answer. Sometimes if it's complicated, React has a lot of ways to do stuff, and it's not always. I've used Claude. I use Claude probably daily. But Claude, if you're not paying for it, you've got a limited number of uses. And I've used Blackbox AI too. But I like them all. ChatGPT is pretty good, but I do like the way Claude I think ChatGPT will do it too. Will explain stuff. If you just highlight a piece of code, you can just say explain this, and it'll go through and tell you what's going on. So that's kind of cool. Sometimes I notice that the AIs, though, will assume certain things like, oh, do you have this thing installed and that thing installed? It won't ask you or even show you the import, but it'll show you code that uses things. You're like, this doesn't work. Oh, you need to import this or install this. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't think, I thought maybe you had that already. It's like, no, if I'd had that, maybe I wouldn't have needed you. Because I didn't know that existed, but I guess I needed you to know it existed. But anyway, so yeah, when I find things that take me a really long time to figure out, even with the help of AI, those are the ones that I'm thinking I want to try to do some kind of a video to show people how to do it, just in case they're trying to do it. Because ultimately what this was me calling a function on a loop and trying to get it to re-render every function's results on that loop without any user interaction. So in other words, the use effect had to keep giving up control while it updated state information so that state information could render on the screen. But if it doesn't give up control, changing the state information will never update on the screen. It'll lock until you give up control. So your use effect essentially had to quit before those states can update. And then it could update the states, and then it could come back. Well, if you're doing like a while loop, that'll never happen. It'll just run through the while loop, and it'll never update those states, and they'll just keep getting changed, but nothing will happen. So like you can see when I run my code here, this guy is, there's this updates every few seconds, and everything is updating after every single play. Something is happening. That was really hard to get working because it was constantly it didn't want to give up control. So what I ended up having to do was two things actually, because I had a problem that resulted in the partial solution not working. One was I started using a timer, and the timer would call the function again in, whatever amount of seconds I wanted it to call in, after the state was supposed to be updated. And that kind of sort of worked. It started doing the calls, but it was having trouble with overlay and delays. So in other words, sometimes the state wouldn't update fast enough, and then it would call the function again and would come back through and run the function another time before the state got a chance to update. So that was causing me no end of headaches, because trying to get it to figure out how to pause and how to block it from running before the state updated. And all of the AIs, Claude gave me a bunch of tries, gave me a bunch of code, so did ChatGPT. They all had theories, and I implemented all of them, but nothing was working. And at first I wasn't I didn't really even understand what it was doing, so I just took its word for it. But as I started to learn a few tries and started understanding what the functions and the attempts it was trying, I was like, okay. And then I started seeing how the use effect actually lays out, because I started understanding its flow. And that's when I go, you know what, let's just do this. And once I got a lot of times in that case, when I try to implement my own ideas using what I think is syntactically correct, a lot of times I'll have errors. And then that's when I'll go back to AI and go, what did I do wrong here? What's my syntax problem? I'm like, oh, you just need to fix this for syntax. I'm like, oh, okay. So I fix that. So the AI is great for helping me to make sure my code is, correctly written. And then it kicks me out to, then I go fix it and run it. And this time I was able to get it working. I actually locked it out. And now my plays don't replicate incorrectly anymore. So that was nice. So yeah, anyway, let's see if I can get this guy. So what I want to do is I have some plans for writing some chat interaction with this too. I think I said that though. I'll do that later. All right, so let's see if this guy.
So let's do that. It's going to be a method of the service. Just like so, and here you can just return nil for now, just so we can bootstrap everything up. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the start. So I'm gonna have a type.
Did you do main.go already?
Because
that's my buggy one.
And for now, we are not gonna have any dependencies. In the future, we're gonna add here our MongoDB instance, but for now, this is fine. I'm gonna also create a constructor for the store. Like so, and the method as well, which is the create. All right, so we're gonna have here an error. I need to return the an error, so I'm just gonna return nil. Now here on the main, let's start everything. So I'm gonna have a service. Just call this in the service. It's gonna have the business logic. Then we're gonna have the store, which is gonna be new store. I'm going to pass in the store to the service, and this is going to be it. So here on the main, we're going to have the transports and basically we're going to initiate everything. We also need to initiate the transport, which is going to be gRPC, but we get that into the next module. So for now, this is going to be it. And then you could call, for example, the service.create order, where you could pass the context.background, for example.
All right, so what is different here? Package main. Func main, blah blah, store, new store. Does he have? No, nope, I got a store. So service, new service, store. Looks the same. Service create coaching profile, which is my replacement. Context.background.
Just so I don't have an error. All right, so for now, let's leave here the order.
So what did he do? How is his? What is different? Why is mine got a bug in it? Package main. context func. So this might be one of those where I have to go to so I did his
orders out main. We got introduced to the layered architecture that we're going to use on all of the services. So all of the services are going to follow something similar. We're going to build upon this later. But now let's go back to the gateway and implement the entry point of our application where we're going to create an HTTP.
So he's going to go work on the gateway, which is what I kind of went through there. But I got to figure out why my... I wonder if it cares... Does it care about this space? I can't imagine it caring about this space, but... I don't know. I don't know what Go's thing is. Store. So something about my store. What's this saying? Cannot use store variable of type store as coaching profile store value in argument to new service. Store does not implement coaching profile. Wrong type or method. Oh, okay. So what is store doing? Main. It does seem to be doing stuff that's store related. Store does not implement store, but it does look like it's doing that. Argument to new service has coaching profile store. Value and argument to new service. Store does not implement coaching profile store. Wrong type of method create. Have create context dot context error. Cannot use store. Variable of type store as coaching profile value and argument to new service. Store does not implement coaching profile store. Wrong type for method. So he doesn't. I mean, I know he doesn't use the same things I'm using, but orders is ordering. So coaching profile store. Oh. Well, his is. See, I'm trying to figure out his. Orders.
Responsible for the service discovery and the connection to the right service. So we're going to see all of that separated beautifully. It's going to be awesome. And then we can also test everything because everything is going to be nicely separated. And we're going to see that. So first let's start by creating, for example, the service.go. And then I'm going to also create a storage because we're going to store orders. And then we should also have types. So this is going to contain the interfaces. So let me just create here the order service interface, and then you can also create the...
I think I have a coaching profile interface. Yeah, coaching profile interface. So we have the service, which is a coaching profile store. That's the struct. Yeah, just trying to...
Gonna send the context because we need to create the payload and the output, which are going to be gRPC generated code. So for now, let's just have this and return an error. And here on the storage, you could have create as well, or you could take as well the context. So I'm just going to copy this here and call this create. Then here on the service, I'm going to create just a struct called service. This is going to implement the interface that we have just created. So this is going to have the storage. So I'm just call it store. It's going to be the order store. And then I'm going to create a constructor, service, which is going to take the store, has a dependency, the orders store, and it's going to return a.
So I'm doing it the same way. Coaching profile, new, store. New store, return, store. So am I not implementing something?
Pointers to the service, for example, and we can just return like so. A new instance where you just pass in store, right?
Wait. Oh wait, no, we're on service. Okay, so I know I got the same stuff he's got. I don't know what's going on. Why I'm misaligned here, but all right. So let's go ask the buddies. Chipitit, I need your help, buddy. Getting an error with my store. I'm getting an error on my new service store. Cannot use store variable of type store as coach coach profile store value and argument. Coach profile is create coach profile, create coach profile store. Nope, that's the same thing. Coach profile. I mean, it knows it's referencing it because you know what? I can't select my. That's an invisible error. This coach profile store. The store .go file is written as. So now you got to give them both parts, right? Let's see if it can figure this out. I didn't tell it I was writing in Go though. Whoops. Define the coach profile interface. Your new service function likely expects a parameter that implements the coach profile store interface, for example. Type coach profile store interface. Wait. Oh. You know, I wonder if it's this thing. Coach profile service. I do have coach profile store. Coach? Oh. Wait, is it plural? Coach profiles? No, coach profile. Coach profile store capital. Coach profile store capital. Coach profile store interface. Create ctx context.contact error. Create. Is it because I don't have this piece? Let's try that. Type coach profile. Because I don't think I have another place for that. I have things that reference. Oh, look, my main.go fixed. Ah, it stopped complaining. Aha. I was missing pieces to my coach profile. Oh, thank you, ChatGPT. You're a lifesaver because this guy is kind of a pain. I need your help. That was so very bad. All right.
So now to implement this interface, we need to have the create order method. So let's do that. It's going to be a method of the service.
Just
like
so.
And here you can just return nil for now, just so we can bootstrap everything up. And I'm going to do the same thing for the start. So I'm going to have a type, which is going to HTTP address. This is going to come from the environment variables in the future, but for now let's just have it hard-coded here. This is the parts that we're going to have. Now let's actually test this, and what we can do with Go Workspaces is go back to the roots, and we can just do Go.
So he's going to the terminal. All right, so let's go to the terminal. What is he using? He's using ZSSS. I don't even know what ZSSS is. What is ZSSS? I'm just going to use git bash. I don't know what that is. Go run. What is he doing? And what is he on? Main.go? I didn't even know you could test main.go that way, but.
Go run, and then the name of the service is going to be ADGate.
Go run. Dot backwards. He's got a cool little pop-up thing going. I don't know what that is.
Okay. And here we have our HTTP server listening. I just want to add here a log so that we know it is running. So just like.
All right, so he's going over to his main. Wait, what main is that? Oh, that must be the gateway main. So you got func main handler. Then he's going to go here. Log dot print something. Starting HTTP server at, don't know what that means, but do that, comma. Oh, is this printf? Oh, printf is the thing. Oh, I thought it was spelling out a word.
So, okay, so if we try again to run, we should have.
Ha! He has a typo.
Go run gateway.
Oh, go work. He did go work. His typo was just that he did the wrong thing. Gateway main.go 1.1 expected package found EOF end of file. Okay, well.
We have the starting HTTP server.
Okay, so gateway main.go. Now this could be because I don't have a database, or I don't know what his gateway stuff is connected to be honest. Go run. He's got a Go terminal. I wonder if it's my terminal, because it says expecting a package, which is not what I think I would get if I was doing this correctly. So I may need to actually install something to get me a Go terminal. Best Go terminal extension. The best Go terminal extension for Visual Code is the Go extension. It provides features like IntelliSense code. You can install it from VS Code. Yeah, but I already have the Go extension. So how do I get the? Oh, maybe I have to enable. How to enable the Go terminal extension in VS Code. VS Code extensions. Open any file. Go to Go Mod. Open any Go file or Go mod to automatically activate the extension. The Go status bar will appear in the bottom right corner of the window and display your Go version. The extension depends on your Go. It's not the Go terminal. I need the Go terminal window. Go terminal. And to enable the Go terminal window in VS Code terminal, you can toggle the terminal panel using create a new terminal. Oh, here, let's try this. Terminal shells. Shell integration. Terminal shells. Managing terminals. Terminal tabs UI. Group splits. Actually, this is none of the above. Terminals and editor. I would have thought. Well, I'm thinking it doesn't like. Let's try PowerShell. Go run dot gateway. Alright, so I'm getting this error. That's not what I want to see. I don't want to err. Oh, I don't need. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's not the problem. Really? Oops, that didn't work either. Nope. Alright, so alright, let's go see if my buddy knows the answer. Trying to test this main.go file, but when I run the command go run dot gateway, I get the error gateway main.go :1 : expected package found EOF. Now there is a package on here, right? So yeah, it's package main. Occurs an error or an issue in the file structure. Specifically, this can happen if the file is incomplete or incorrectly formatted. Let's check the file syntax. Ensure that main.go starts with package main, which it does. Declaration doesn't have any trailing or unexpected characters. Well, is a space a main? It does look like it. No, it doesn't have a space. Okay. Cost net added barefoot. Admin declaration doesn't have any trailing or unexpected characters. Correct structure. Yeah, it's exactly what I've got. Thank you very much. Kinda. Well, actually, oh. What? Oh. Never mind. Maybe it's not exactly the same thing. Could be I may have a slight problem with my syntactical issues here. Huh. Darn it. Yeah, what is prettier? I don't know, prettier might not work here. But that might be my problem. Let's go try this again. Nope. Darn! That seemed like an obvious thing, because I was missing this. Alright, well, let's see. HTTP mux, error, blah, blah. Semicolon, error, blah, nil. Oh, what am I doing? Does that need a space? Is space important here? Nope. No, I didn't put a dot or comma error here. Do you want to allow public and private networks to access this app? Hey, look, it worked. Starting HTTP server at 8080. Hey, small victories, man. Small victories. Got to take them where you can get them. Nothing like writing correct syntax to get it working. Do I want this to be accessible? Sure. Is that my bot? AO react to Banjna Kavalglaive by Thompson. I don't know, Kaliu. I don't know. Nightbot is my bot. I don't know what Kaliu. Kaliu. IO react to Banjna Kavalglaive by Thompson. I don't know what. I don't know what you're saying, Kaliu. Hey, IO react to Banjna Kavalglaive by Thompson. Could possibly be that's in a language I don't understand. Maybe Banjna Kavalglaive. It looks like a different language. But yeah, sorry, don't understand. But no, Active Mind Gamer is my bot. Yes. So if you see something say Active Mind Gamer, it's me. So it's my bot probably posting it. Yeah, that's me. It's probably me when I post. I multi-stream, so it's possible that it's cross-posting some stuff for me, because I'll sometimes put, yeah, it's Restream bot. It's putting stuff out to kind of keep things in sync, and when I type stuff, it'll pass it out. So yeah, I have Nightbot on my tool too. So Nightbot sometimes will come up. It might even use my Active Mind Gamer tag to propagate it. So yeah, Active Mind Gamer is me. So. Anyhow, so I got that working. Yay me. So maybe that's a good point to stop. But let's see what this guy's got going. I got a few more minutes. What's the score? Who won? 21-20. Oh, come on, Denver. The Broncos, I believe, play the Colts next week. So I've been running this. This is the game of the week. Fingers crossed, Denver pulls this off. Oh, yeah. My Nightbot will get them. My Nightbot will also jump in there if somebody starts spamming me weird. good job what? that the Colts are Colts won? What? Are you a Colts fan? Or are you saying good job to my being a Broncos fan? Well, you know I'm a Broncos fan. I got a big horse on my desktop. So that's not it. I've been running this all day long because I believe, like I said, I think that's Denver needs this win because it'll push. While the Colts are they're still in the race, but they're kind of far back. If Denver beats them, they're pretty much out of it. Denver needs to win. Denver plays the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Colts, and the Bengals for the last 4 games. All of which matter. Oh, yeah, my code working. Oh, yeah. I did finally get that working. That's nice. I want to spend a couple more minutes. I'm going to see if I can get one more little thing to do something.
Server at 80. Awesome. So we just have an HTTP server created. So let's go ahead and maybe think about creating a gRPC connection. So basically here we have the whole boilerplate for the gateway and the service. Of course, we're not calling the service here because we require the gRPC to do that. This is what we're going to do. So this is going to be pretty much it for the gateway right now. So before I finish this module, I just want to show you 2 things. The first is going to be the comments package. So we're going to create and initialize the comment package because this is going to allow us to have reusable functions across all of the services so we don't repeat ourselves. And then at the next video, I want to show you as well the hot reloading feature that we're going to implement. So we can have all of that boring stuff set up out of the gate so we can start building fast. So the first thing is that I'm going to create here maybe env.go because
yes, got to have an environment file. Why not? That's important. Got to have that even in React for your environment variables. I do like we're doing a gRPC, which I barely even know what gRPC does. That's kind of the architecture that's going to be communicating all my with all of my services. But it's like I said, everything about this is new to me. So I'm like, when he says stuff, oh, we're just going to do this and do this, I'm like, okay, sounds good. But then I got to ask ChatGPT or Google and go, okay, explain to me what this is and what is it doing exactly?
we should have a way to get environment variables from our services as we saw here. It would be nice to have a function that would get this environment variable, and if it didn't exist, it would use a fallback value. So that is what we're going to do. So here's going to be inside the package common instead of being main, and then let's have a function called env_string. So this function is going to receive a key and a fallback.
Man,
so
this
the
guy
first thing we need to do is
so
go to
flipping
syscall.
fast. I can type pretty good, but I can't type that fast. And then he makes a lot of typos, so he types really fast, makes a lot of typos, and then he goes back and forth a lot. So I'm like, what am I? Wait, what are you doing? I don't know. I make a lot of typos sometimes too, though, but you get going. What is he doing? Syscall string. What is he going to do next?
I think it's called getEnv. Here receives the key and it returns a value and a boolean in case if it's found or not. So we can just consume this here. If it is okay, we just return the value. Else we can return the fallback like.
Alright, so plus it does stuff, which throws me off. It's like I typed getEnv, syscall getEnv, and it's like, oh, is he in another file now? Oh no, he's in the same file. Okay, so mstring. I type syscall getEnv, and all of a sudden, oh, it's over here. So he put this extra stuff on the end. How did he do that? I think he's got some hotkeys or functionality that's doing stuff, and that's part of what throws me off, is because it does some of his code for him, which is cool if you know what he's doing. But either that or he's magically words are just appearing. Because suddenly I have this if val comma thing that wasn't there before. And that throws me off. If you're going to be using cool extensions, buddy, you got to tell us what they are, man, so we can install them ourselves, and my code could do the same thing. Because it's hard enough following you when words aren't just appearing magically in the code. It's like, what? That wasn't there a second ago. Okay, if val comma okay blah 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 says okay, get env key. Okay, blah, return val, blah, 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 return fallback, okay. Oh, is that what it is? He's using GitHub's Copilot? See, I've had GitHub Copilot, you know, prompt me, hey, get GitHub Copilot, and I've heard it's pretty decent. But the problem is, it costs money. And again, unemployed, so, so I'm not doing that.
So, now to consume this, let's go back to our main here on the gateway, and let's do a common. You should have here the autocomplete. If not, you can just import it directly like this, and then.
So what is he doing here? So he's going up here, and he's creating a constant. He's doing this guy. HTTP ADDR equals common. And he's typing something. Is it one of those that if you type here, go common, click? Haha. Well, no, not exactly. His is common. GitHub comms get sickos on PC commons. I'm obviously not getting mine from GitHub. Oh, okay, so it is. It's going. Common github.com, and then it's my name and PFFM common. Of course, I haven't actually put this up on GitHub yet, but okay.
I'm going to do is env string. This is going to be the HTTP header, and then the fallback could be the 8080 like so. And of course, now this needs to be a variable, not a constant. So let's just change that. And actually, we could come here and actually implement the reading of the environment variables. So let me create here .env file, and what you're going to use is this package called go.env. This is the de facto standards to use to load environment variables in Go. At least it's the one I see the most. You can do it like this, or I'm going to do it like so, because let me just show you why. Here we have our variables declared.
Okay, HTTP var. Oh, wait, you changed it to a var? Wait, what? It was a const. Now you changed it to a var. Oh, dude. You're killing me, man. Killing me with your bouncing all over the place. Change it to a var. Const to a var. HTTP common env. Who? Wait, what? Who? Can you change it again? Because this said 8080 a second ago. Now it's 3000. Guys, found. Dude, killing me, man. Stop changing directions. All right, he's getting rid of this because we're implementing our environment variable. So I know mstring HTTP ADDR 8080, but he's got it to 3000 now. I don't know why. I mean, I forgot. I think by default 8080 is what you use usually, but you can set it to different ports
here, which are getting the environment variables. So we want to make sure that this package is loaded before.
See, I don't know what he's What is this thing doing? GitHub.com Joho Goto Dev Autoload. Is this... I don't know what he's doing. Why is he doing that? Go do TM autoload. Huh. Alright. We're gonna do it. GitHub.com/Joho/ go do TM forward auto. I mean, I know he got this from that other text, but I just don't know what it's doing. Cannot import it. Oh, that doesn't even exist. The port does not matter, just a heads up. If your preferred port, if it's your preferred port that are open. Some ports are used, to be careful what port you pick. Yeah, by default, I think my port is 30. I want to say 3030 is the one that my Blazor was using, or my React application was using. It's 3000 here, so it's the same one. So if I use 3000 again, it's going to conflict with this app because it's running. So I probably should use something else. But I could probably change it to like 3030 or something, just to keep it from conflicting with my other part of the app. But I don't fully understand this piece.
For the that function is called, so that is how we can do it. Then what I'm going to do is once we have this fallback 3000, and I'm going to create here on the variables gdp.other, and I'm going to be 8080.
Wait, didn't we already do this? It's on, oh, it's under gateway. m.go, and he's got a .env under gateway. Okay. Wait, I don't have that, right? Nope. And then he's going http addr equals colon Alright, so this was the, hopefully I'm not working on the same, okay, so that must be the right main because it's the only one he's working on, okay.
And I just want to see that the file is going to read the 8080 and not the 3000, then I'm going to change this back. Now what we need to do, I think, is if I run this from the root, this is not going to work. Yeah, it's picked up the 3000, so it didn't read the file, because when you run this from the root, it's checking for the .env here, and this is not how we're going to run our projects. So let's go back to the gateway and then do this again here.
It's not going to work. I know it's not going to work because this thing isn't a thing. So could not import Joho go do nav and autoload. No required module provides package GitHub. Yeah, really what it comes down to and coming up with your own app. I mean, that's the best way to learn, really, because it's going to force you to do a lot of things that you're not used to doing in code. But you've also got to have kind of a design mentality, which you can build up by simply doing your own app. Because you start thinking about all the things that are required to make an app function. Like if somebody tells you, go code me a page, like if you get a job and they tell you, code me this page that does this, this, and this. Well, you're only going to be thinking about that page doing that thing, and you're just going to try to pull in the parts to do it. But if you create your own app, now you're starting to think about not only how that app page is going to get created, you're thinking about How are you going to lay out the menus? What do you need to do to make a menu function off of it? What do I need to do to get data to feed into those menu options? What do I need to do to efficiently store this? How do I want to store my data? I mean, you start thinking about your brain starts to branch out into all the areas that you need to code. And it just starts off with just, what am I trying to do on the front? Well, if I need this to load this, then I need to figure out how the back piece is going to work. And then if that piece is going to work, how does it get its data and its information? What do I need to make this other menu feed off of that other piece so that it can read in more data so I don't have to make the customer load stuff? So that's why it is hard, but it's always, if you really think about it, even though an app is much bigger and broader, it's still a bunch of small steps. It's really all it is. And if you're good at breaking things down into small steps, you get yourself good at it by practicing. You start learning how, okay, I need to make this piece work. So I need this thing to happen. Stay focused on that thing. And then you're like, okay, I got that piece working. Let's go ahead and make this other piece that needs to feed off of it work. Now it's going to call that. And you start chaining all your stuff together, and it starts to grow and take form after a while. But you only can do that by building your own app or your own thing. And, it's really hard to build those kind of skills and things by working for other people who only want you to do little bits and pieces. Rarely are you hired, especially in your early jobs, rarely are you hired to do a full-on app. They want you to come in and do pieces. A full-on app, though, is how you get the full stack knowledge. You build up everything you need. And I've gotten to the point where I don't like doing piecemeal work. I like the concept of having going from a nothing to a something application, creating entire games or entire board games, video games, my storage cases, trying to think of all the things that a person's going to want in that, including myself. What is it I want in this thing? What would make this the perfect storage case? What would make this the perfect football game? What would make this, what do I see in there? And understanding that these things have to make money too. So you also got to think about how much cost is going to, what things can you do to get your features in there, but still keep the cost down so that you can make it and not have to sell it for so much. The perfect product is only good as how much it costs. You can only sell it to 3 people because it costs too much, because it costs you too much. Software is cool because once it's done, it's profit, right? I mean, once it's done and built, you're just recouping everything you put in it, because you can, as many as you can sell, it's positive money, because software is cheap to produce or cheap to manufacture. There is no manufacturer. You build a compilable exe, you set up an install, and people buy that file from you and they install it to their app. And you could even make it free, because if I want all of the features in there or all of the bits, you can have that be where they have to charge, where they have to pay for stuff. But again, you got to understand from the gamer's perspective, how do you make that so they want to play the game, not just want to spend money? Because if you're just thinking about making them want to spend money, you're going to lose them. They got to want to play the game. And if they want to play the game, then that's when they might want to spend money, because they're like, I'm having a good time in this. I would love for my football players to be all shiny and cool, or I want them to get some awards so that it shows how awesome they are, or I want to be able to have some more plays in my playbook. I want to buy this year's players so that I can play with Bo Nix on my football team. So you keep trying to get people to want to play your game, and then they just want to do the pay parts because they want to enhance their game. But the game's still going to play for everybody, whether they're paying or not. And if everybody's enjoying themselves, hey, great. That means you're going to get the income. The income's going to come because they're just enjoying themselves. I spend money on games even when I don't have to, if the game has been enjoyable to me. and I'm not unemployed. So I'll still buy stuff. I played Marvel Snap I've been going on over 2 years now, and I like the game. I like the game part of it. It's getting a little old now because I see the same exact decks all the time. There's only 12 cards in it, and there's like only 2 or 3 of the top decks, and it's starting to get old, but I like to come up with new strategies and come up with new things. And so I'm okay with all that stuff, but the game itself is fun enough that I keep going back to it. So I like their concept because you don't have to pay to play, and you can keep playing. Yeah, some people don't like the fact that you get too far behind. See, that's another thing. There is the problem of how do you get new players in? When a game's been around for 2 years, the early people have everything, even if they didn't pay. But now you're trying to get in as a not pay because you just heard about this cool game. But you're so far behind. You've got all these cards. Everybody's got all these cards you don't have, and their decks are so much better than yours. See, you got to think about that stuff when you're designing the game. How do you you want everybody to be able to come in and have fun with the game. Yeah, there might be a learning curve to learn how to play, but if they're enjoying themselves and they're getting to that point, like, I want my game to be theoretically playable probably within a few weeks. I mean, fully playable. I mean, you can play with it at first. You know, you're in that beginner phase like every game has. You're learning how to play stuff. You're getting stuff to build up more and get a little momentum. But ultimately, you're just trying to learn how to play. And then you start playing against people. And yeah, you might get beat some, but it's not because they've got more stuff than you. It's because they've learned how to play and they've gotten pretty good. And learning how to match up and pair up with people. And, you know, maybe you come in as a new team in a league and your team, struggles the first year, but you start figuring it out. You start learning how to get your players upgraded and better, and eventually your team is competing with those other teams. It don't matter that they've got other players in or new players in. But that said, it's 10 o'clock past my bedtime, which for you is now what? 1 o'clock? Dude, it's late for you, man. If you're still up, if you're still there, you have a good one. And thanks for coming by and saying hi, and hopefully I'll see you again in the future. And if you like what's going on here, I would appreciate the follows. I'm always good for follows and subs. And I think that's it for now. Till next time, take it easy.